Gamechanger Audio have been around for a while now, and I think it's fair to say that they have produced consistently awesome, innovative stuff. Everything from a synthesizer that uses drone motors as oscillators to a pedal that turns your signal into lightning. Now, Jack White of White Stripes fame, obviously among many other things, has his own company that does pedals and it prints vinyl, and its record label is awesome. It's called Man Records, and they have been teaming up with pedal builders to make really unique, interesting, really cool pedals. And when I saw they teamed up with Gamechanger, who I already was a big fan of, I was super excited. I was even more excited though when they dropped this. This is the Gamechanger / Third Man Plasma Coil. It's kind of the Third Man Audio Jack White take on a Gamechanger plasma pedal, but it's got a load of really cool octave effects in there as well. I'll just talk you through the pedal real quick. You've got voltage, which is kind of a signal gain. You've got volume up the top. You've got two EQs here, like a low and high band EQ. These are awesome. There's no dead spots in here at all. Everything here is super, super usable. It's great. We'll get to that in a minute. I've got something really amazing that I found that I want to show you. And then we've got these, which are the kind of octave effect options that are built into the pedal. So you've got none, octave down, 2 octaves down, an octave up, and an octave down, and 2 down, 1 up, which it's all awesome and completely insane. And of course, in typical plasma coil / plasma pedal style, you get this down here. Now, there's not even signal running through it at the moment. It's just so angry that it will just go. If you turn the voltage up high enough, it will just start to kind of self-oscillate, and it's awesome. It's so cool. Truth is, it's a fantastic option if you're after like a nasty, spitty, gritty, distortion-y fuzz with octave effects built in. Especially, you've got to check this thing out. It is amazing. Something I do really want to talk about though in this video is that this wasn't just picked up by guitar players, and by this I mean both the plasma coil and the original plasma pedal. It's also super popular with like sound designers and people who really specialize in kind of audio production and getting in there and playing around with sound. And that is what I wanted to show you, because this thing does incredible things. Now, I don't know about you, but I love Mick Gordon's work on Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal, and I've spent a pretty enormous amount of time trying to chase down the sounds he managed to get there. So I was watching Doom Behind the Music again recently, and something caught my ear.
What I'm going to do next is attempt to, if we can get some volume on the computer here, I'm going to show you my first experiment running through this array. I'm going to show you a series of sub-sine wave tones. They're 4 F notes, followed by a little bit of a gap. Oh, it's not meant to be buzzing, that's that buzzing over there. A gap. Okay, so that's it. Now I know what you're thinking, it's really not amazing, right? I know, music of the year right here, woo! But when you run that through this array, all sorts of interesting stuff starts to happen.
So I thought we'd just try and replicate what Mick was talking about. I've got the Polyvox out again because I love it, and I have the plasma coil right here, and I've got it set to kind of a low triangle wave because the Polyvox doesn't have a sine, and then I've got some white noise in there. So that all sounds like this. Sounds mean. I don't know what crossmod is going to do in this kind of situation actually. So let's just bring in the plasma coil on its own. I'm going to put everything at noon except the volume, which I've got up, and then we're going to have a play with the EQs. I'm just going to leave all the octave effects off for now, okay? So again, just raw sound. Pretty mean. Plasma coil. Okay, all right, so let's start, let's bring the voltage up, and then I'm going to show you what the EQs do, because they're really, really powerful and really cool. Even more great in there, getting really, really nasty. I'm going to bring that back a bit because we're going to start playing with the octave effects, and I want you to be able to hear them. So I'm going to switch to octave effects on. So the first position is just nothing. Fat. Octave down. Fatter. 2 octaves down. Octave up. Octave down and octave up. Can hear it glitching and spluttering and just bleh. I love it. It's amazing. And then lastly, we've got 2 octaves down and 1 up, so a bit of everything. Getting carried away and just playing with the LFOs. I'm just going to put that back to the beginning. Sounds good. Right, okay, let's play with these EQs because they are insanely powerful, right? So the low at the moment is in the middle. So I'm just going to hold a C, bring the low down, and then bring it up. When I bring it up, you're going to hear a ton of sub. Voltage up, let's go. And then to complement that, you can bring the high band up. I'm just going to show you what the high band does. I'll put the low band back to the beginning, and then we're just going to crank them both because it's disgusting and just the best possible way. And then we can bring in the octave effects on top of that. I can't even see where I am. Oh, it's utterly disgusting in just the most fantastic way. We are going to have to. This is not planned, but I can't help myself. I'm going to mess about. Let's bring everything up a little bit. I'm going to switch the plasma coil off for a second. And portmanteau up. We've killed the octave effects. I just want to be clear there that there's no kind of stepping or anything effect going on. If I switch the plasma coil off, it's just glitching out in a really pleasing way. Yes, I allowed myself to get slightly distracted there. I do apologise. Let's bring in, as one last thing I want to show you, which is super cool. Let's bring in, I have a Moog DFAM, and I reckon we try it on some drum sounds, like the big electro stuff, because it's going to sound sweet. Right, we're all set up with the DFAM. Here is what it sounds like, no plasma coil. God, it's just immediately, you're just into this like hyper gritty, gross, disgusting, super industrial, super like, you know, like cyberpunk game soundtrack, Doom, all of that sort of stuff. It's all here. The plasma coil is amazing. I love it. I love it so much. I use it on everything, like an inappropriate amount. I'm reminded of what I said in my video on the T-Rex replicator, where it's absolutely incredible that all of these companies are still out here innovating on new things, even after 100 years of generally processing and maiming audio. What Gamechanger have done is put a Tesla coil on your pedal board. They've, like T-Rex, put a whole tape echo on your pedal board, a Binson Echo Rec on your pedal board. It's insane. It's an unbelievable time to be a musician. To sum up then, the plasma coil is epic. If you like big, fuzzed out, gnarly guitar tones, then 100% the Plasma Coil is for you. If, like me, you prefer it for other more kind of sound designy stuff like alternative sources and twisty knobs and just getting horrible, screaming, amazing, incredible industrial stuff, it totally does that as well, and it's so good at it. And it's not really something I've seen discussed before, which is why I wanted to make this video and just kind of highlight this thing. The octave effects and stuff didn't track particularly well with the drum machine, but they track really nicely with the synth, or really interestingly with the synth. Maybe nice isn't the right word. It's incredible. I love it. It's great. Definitely check one out if you get the opportunity.